You're watching SuckProfessor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by...
James.
Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 1, The Red Woman. Did not disappoint. It's been a year in the waiting. We're doing a shot-by-shot analysis, recap, review, discussion. Are you ready?
I am.
Anything to say before we start? You just finished it.
Yeah, I'm so hyped that it's back.
We start out at the wall, coming in on Castle Black. Slow zoom in on Jon Snow. And oh man, tragedy. He is still dead.
Yeah, I think everyone was hoping that this episode was going to show him progress a little bit.
Like, come back to life.
That's what everyone's been thinking. So
okay.
that's
I had
what
some
I was
thoughts about
for.
that. Well, yes. Yeah. While we was watching, I was waiting for that shit too. So then, okay, we pick up pretty much this is the same night.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't discover him weeks later.
Well, I mean, I was about to say his body's not yet cold, but...
Sir Davos, the Onion Knight, comes rushing out. He doesn't really... He senses something's wrong or whatever. He comes out and he looks around. So I don't have every single step everybody took. Pretty much, we keep it moving here. And he goes, oh, fuck, Jon Snow's dead. Shit, oh, no, look at him. He's fucked up. So he calls in the fellas. These are like his buddies. Edd, Dolores, Edd is his name. There's another one. Okay, so they're like, get him inside. All right. And they put him on a table. The guy does that thing where he sweeps his arm across his head.
Yeah, there's no need for that. There's no emergency. The guy's dead.
It just looks fun.
Yeah.
But not a good thing to do in a room with fireplaces, though. So they set him down. Jon Snow looks fucked up. And I kept thinking during this whole sequence, his eyes are going to turn blue. And he's going to go,
oh, that's right, because if you die in the north...
Yeah, you turned into a blue-eyed zombie.
I didn't even think about that.
Just everybody in my family's blue-eyed. Maybe we're related. And so then... I thought his eyes are going to turn blue, and then they're going to like tie him down, and then they'll have like a zombie captive Jon Snow, turn him into a pet. No, I'm just joking. But I was expecting him to wake up. And then they go get the Red Woman. She comes in, and they're all shocked. No one expected this to happen. And she's actually showing a lot more emotion.
Yeah, she's more human in this episode than most.
Yeah. So she must know that Stannis is kaput, right?
She has ways of knowing certain things by looking into the flames. She said that she saw him in Winterfell fighting, so she must know that Stannis is no more.
Yeah, and then they talk about that later on in the episode too. So, but she's having a rough time because King's gone. I think she I think she had a crush on Jon Snow. And hey, can you blame her? He's so handsome. So she's like, no, fuck, he's dead. That sucks. Okay, so now. This is Sir Alliser Thorne.
Right. This is where he basically comes clean and lets the Night's Watch know what went down.
Yeah, because when he was killed last year, I didn't even think about the whole community's going to get all twisted up about this.
That's their Lord Commander.
Yeah, and they voted him in.
Yeah, not everyone was against him.
Yeah, right. He had a sizable following, and he should have. And loyalty is their number one thing, just like I expect out of you, James.
No, yeah.
So these guys go, you murderer, you suck, fuck you, and he's like, that's right, I did it. I did it. We all did it. So did this guy here, whatever his name is, right?
But to be fair, they're mostly at the wall because they're all murderers.
Yeah, they're all rapers, murderers. And then, Ollie, he's, I rewatched all the same every season.
I did too. He has justification.
Yeah, so you can't say he violated an oath and he kind of tricked Jon Snow, so fuck him. But at the same time, those wildlings came and murdered his family, and he killed Ygritte as he was told to fight back.
She was the one that shot the arrow right into his dad.
Yeah, so
which I forgot.
She had it coming. Yeah. Great moment when he kills Ygritte. He just nods his head like, yeah, goddamn right, I got her. And so then Alliser Thorne is like, fuck you all, yay. And then he goes on a nice little speech explaining his justification. Did you buy this bullshit?
Not entirely.
Yeah, I thought he did okay. I was
he was enough not to get pelted by arrows himself.
Exactly. He was just trying to keep his job, basically, not get, Although it's kind of weirdly civil, because they're all like, oh yeah, he made some good points. All right, okay, we're good. So then Ghost, this is a cool shot. His eyes are made out of candied cherries. But he comes up and he's like, notice though, how tall is that wolf? He's on a table. He's on a 36-inch tall table. I mean, that's the standard table height. That's countertop height, actually.
Pretty big wolf.
Wolf is not... He's not looking up on a table. He is kind of just straight at... any dog that can get his head on the top of a table, boy, that is a dire situation right there.
Very dangerous during Thanksgiving, too.
Yeah, very easy. They can take the can of cranberries right off the table. So then these dudes are... These are Jon Snow's buddies. I don't think I've seen the guy on the left. The guy on the right is one of his friends.
Yeah, I recognize him.
Yeah, he traveled north of the wall with them all before. Sir Davos is stuck here, and... okay, so they're like, oh, fuck, well, what do we... they don't know what to do. Back here at Winterfell.
Yeah, and we know exactly who we're dealing with because there's the flayed man. We know it's the Boltons.
Yes, those are the Boltons.
There's the fancy red tree in the background.
Yep, the weirwood magical of the old gods with the face in it. So, okay, now Shit, I looked at her name. It's Miranda, I think.
Yeah, and I remember when she fell, her face kind of hit the ground and blood splattered everywhere. So I was thinking, wow, her face looks pretty good.
Yes. I had the exact same thought, because I was like, well, at first I thought her skull should be just like shorn apart or torn asunder.
I was like, they really pulled a punch here.
Yeah, I mean, like when you step on an like a TIE fighter, like you smash it, like bend it a lot. Okay, so then they're like, Ramsay boy, psycho, insane.
Right, he's actually
Mr. Insane Asylum.
Just like the Red Woman, showing emotion, not like him.
Well, he sort of explains himself.
Yeah.
He knew her as a little girl. They murdered their first person together or some shit. They had a nice memory. They set some cats on fire. And then he's like, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. And then this guy comes in. He's the Grand Maester. He's got the chain of metal, different metal links. And as he's walking out, he goes, do you want me to burn her or put her in a hole? And he goes, she's good meat. Give it to the dogs.
So he becomes Ramsay again.
Yeah. He can't have any of that emotion shit. And actually, I cheered at that part. Yeah. So then, so now he goes and meets with his dad, Roose Bolton, and they're discussing.
So you missed the shot where her cheek was splayed open.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Sorry, you're right. We set that up. So it spun around. The camera spins around her face, and her cheek is all smashed open and kind of like big old red. Yeah. So they covered it.
Yeah, they did.
You can't actually ask an actress to have them smash her face into the ground. So I guess they could build a dummy. All right. So now he's talking with his dad, and they're mostly strategizing about the northern politics right now. Right. Meaning they got to get the north on their side. They can't keep fucking with Sansa.
Yeah, you got to get your stuff ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's saying, son, if you don't start applying for colleges, I am not even going to pay for community college. So then he's like, do it. I'm Ramsay. I'm Roose Bolton of the North.
Got a very commanding voice.
I've got a weird lisp if you listen very closely.
Oh, now you've ruined it for me.
I know. Listen for his lisp, everybody. Next time you'll notice he's got a strange speeching impediment. So he gives him what does he tell him? He makes him.
You need an heir. It's something about. The Maester is right that the son is within. Who I didn't pick up on who that was.
He's pregnant with one of Walder Frey's daughter, the really fat chick that's been hanging out with him.
So he's been with many women.
Well, no, he married Walder. What part of their deal that they made when they turned on the Starks was that Walder Frey and he agreed to marry their houses. So one of are you confused about that part, or are you confused?
Well, I mean, whose son would it be if she has a son?
His, Roose Bolton.
Okay, so that's
this guy.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's basically saying we're going to undercut your authority by having a son to replace you. Basically,
a son from him threatens. Ramsay's place in the airline.
Makes a lot more sense. That face is
that's him, because all he ever wanted was to be respected
accepted
like part of his family, and he's just like,
yeah.
Oh no! All right, so I feel like I'm talking too much. I apologize. So now we jump to Sansa and Theon. They're running. That's them in the little bottom right by the trees in the field. And this is a tough pairing because she hates him, although he did just tell her in the storyline in the last season that her brothers are alive.
Right.
So she's regaining pieces of her life that she might have some hope, because she's been pretty broken apart with all the crazy shit that's going on around her. But they're running. Now they're trying to get out of Winterfell, and it's tough. They run up. There they are on the right.
Yeah. When I saw the shot, I was like, oh, that water looks freezing. I hope they don't have to touch it.
Yeah, no kidding. Except, as we all know from watching any movie where there's release the hounds, you need to grow up a stream. You need to go get yourself wet into a stream, and so the hounds lose the scent.
Yep.
It is TV watching 101. So she's like, no, fuck, it's cold. I don't want to go in the water. He's like, we got to. I've seen what these dogs can do. So she goes in the water. I thought they did a good job, because do you ever get, nipples deep in some cold water, James?
Yeah.
Dude, it messes
sucks.
you up.
Yeah, it does.
You're like it's literally the sound she was making. I've done it, and you ever get your balls in fucking...
Well, it's hard to get the nipples without...
Hey, you've never... but obviously, you can't do a handstand.
Unless you're suspended Mission Impossible style.
All right, so they get across the water, they're shivering, they're cold. It's pretty much the plot of The Bear, starring Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. So they push up, and they find a completely protected shelter to hide in. An uprooted tree. Boom, they go. They're cold. He's starting to... I think they might have a crush on each other. I sensed a lot of romance. Did you?
Not really, no.
Well, I'm making all that up.
Okay,
I'm testing
good.
him. But she does accept him as the thing, which she would never...
Well, she's freezing to death, so it's...
Yeah.
Few options.
As the saying goes, when freezing to death, hug the guy who you thought killed your brothers, and then you found out that he killed some farm hands and not your brothers. Yep. Okay, so we keep pushing. I thought this scene was pretty intense, actually. I was like, oh, because her storyline has been so up and down, and mostly down, I guess. Okay, so they hear the dogs on the way.
Yeah,
and goes,
I genuinely thought this was the end of Theon.
Oh, really?
I thought he was dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. He's such a crazy... Reek is such an insane character. Because it'd be weird to kill him off because you want to see where Reek is going to go next.
Yeah, I was thinking, who in the world could possibly save them now? There's no one.
Right. Well, obviously, James forgot about the two best people in the goddamn show. The
dogs.
The dogs. Larry and Harry. There they are. They're best friends. Born 2 minutes apart. Okay, so they... the dogs run up and they find Sansa.
Yeah, even though he lied to try and...
Yeah.
Now, when did the... Podrick, is that his name?
Yes.
When did he learn to fight?
Okay, so we jumped ahead by just a little. Brienne comes down. She comes charging in on a horse, and then they have a horse fight. Yes.
A horse fight.
Podrick was a badass with the weapon.
When did this happen?
Although he did fall backwards and he got, but like he's fighting on a horse. He's getting dragged down. He's stabbing a guy. They're just shots of this fight coming back for us. So if you recall, when Tyrion basically gifts Brienne Podrick as a squire, as he sends, because he knows she's heading off north to look for Sansa. He's inept at everything. He doesn't know how to ride a horse. He's not a knight, and he sort of starts trying to be her squire out of just habit, and that's his orders, sort of. And she's rejecting him, and eventually they kind of come to an understanding. And she offers to train him in the morning, and then accepts his help as a squire. Okay, so that's I wondered about that. It took me. Yeah.
So he's a fast learner.
He's a fast learner. By the way, maybe he's fighting these Theon. These guys probably know how to fight. Okay, so they have a big battle. It's a lot of cling clang, cling sword noises, cling clong, a lot of that. But they're gonna win. Podrick gets dragged off his horse. Brienne comes in and kicks a couple guys' asses. But Sansa is on the line here. You gotta save her. Oh, Theon even picks up a sword and he starts hacking away.
And when
here's Podrick getting pulled down.
But he gets the guy through the back, right?
Yeah.
Does he go through the shield? Because the guy's got a shield on his back.
I don't remember. Well, maybe I have a shot of
that. Right there, okay.
Yeah.
And then the guy...
Oh, look, there's the blade coming out right by his mouth.
Okay, so he goes around the shield. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty impressive.
It's like trying to stab a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
All right, so Theon, they all come to their fucking rescue, and nobody dies. Brienne's like, holy shit, that's Sansa Stark. Then they have this weird little ceremony where she gives her sword and does some saying. This is interesting too. The way when Sansa says her words to her, she looks to Podrick because she forgets.
Right, because apparently it was an oath that she learned when she was an heir of Winterfell.
Which speaks to I like that she's like, oh yeah, there's a tradition here that we're trying to uphold. Also that she just sort of assumes this role as High Lady to a loyal knight who's bowing down. It's like they just take on their hierarchies right away, even though they've had this. You know what I mean? It's like if this was me and my friends, it'd be like high fives and hugs.
The first thing I would do is take off that freaking robe thing.
The wet robe that she's wearing?
Holy crap, why would you keep that on?
James, I don't know where you come from, but tradition always comes before hypothermia. Okay? Okay, so there you go. See, look at her. She's a high lady now. She's giving orders and shit. And she's like, I'll never send you to do anything you don't want to do. Now go steal from that 7-Eleven. Okay. I don't know how to modernize it. Okay. Wow, really pretty. Okay, sorry. Whoops. Brienne's like, thanks, lady. And all right, now we're buddies. So now we're at King's Landing.
Oh yeah, and we know this is a Dorne ship. We know this is Jaime Lannister. We can see the sigil on the sails, so we know he's coming back. And I really thought coming back that he was going to be on the warpath. He was like, what have people done to my family while I was gone? What have they done here? And I thought that remember what Cersei said when he left? Come back with her or don't come back at all.
Oh yeah. That's right.
So I thought she was going to start blaming him for it.
Like she was going to, because she wants to get vengeance, but she's already got a pretty solid target. You're right.
He connected with his daughter and to the point where she knew that he was her father.
Yeah, that's right before the poison kicked in.
Right, so that's so much more of a loss to him at this point.
Yeah.
So I really thought he would be violent and wanting to basically tear the kingdom apart to get revenge.
Well, that might still happen.
I think it is going down that path.
Yeah, there has to, because Myrcella was the glue preventing that from happening from Dorne, and they used their marriages as fasteners for their alliances, and now there are no more alliances, and she was murdered there, and so anyway, also her short hair.
Yeah, he doesn't ask about that. I mean, she makes a big deal about his hand when he comes back, but he's polite.
Women love when you notice their hair. They get really upset when they do a new haircut, and then you don't notice it, and then suddenly you're supposed to be fucking magical. I can tell you had different hair.
What if she had like brass hair?
Gandalf? Yeah, she did both. What did you say?
Well, he came back with a brass hand. She's just like a brass wig on.
Brass hair. Gross. Like, they snap easy. Okay, so anyway, the short hair, though, is just like, gives us a sense of the time frame from when she was let out of the sept.
Right.
And I don't know, I just find it jarring because she had this beautiful, lustrous, long hair, and it's like her power almost has been taken away in a way.
Yeah, she's Samson.
Not quite, but because, but it's just, that's just a big change. I just wanted to say.
It's a humbling thing.
I had some thoughts about that. Plus, I'm bald, so I'm very in tune with hair.
Could use some brass hair.
Yeah, I could use some brass balls. All right, so she hears, the lady comes in and says, a ship, and then she goes,
Look how giddy she looks. Like,
well, she's like, she gets to see her daughter.
She thinks, but then again, I mean, we'll get back to this. I mean, the prophecy that she talks about later on.
Yeah.
So in the back of her mind, she had to have known.
Oh, right, sure.
But she had hope.
But there was also no reason to think that Marcella was going to be killed on her way back.
Right.
She knew the situation's tense and anything could go nuts. But she's going to see basically her two favorite people right now. Like, she loves this girl, and it's her other remaining child. And she's already lost one. And Jaime, you know, she needs a back scratcher, and he's got one built in.
Yeah. Swiss Army hand.
So she's all giddy. She's running up. But, the little boat's on the way rowing in. Sorry, I didn't show it. And she's starting to realize, we got a sad-faced handsome man.
And remember the prophecy, your children will be shrouded in gold, she mentions later on. And
yeah, that is a shroud. Yeah. I bet they all probably wear gold, the Lannisters.
Now, what if he was like pedaling on a swan coming back in?
And her corpse is on the other side?
Yeah, or just like a little smaller like raft that's being dragged behind the swan.
He's got like... he's got his legs tied to her legs, and he's trying to pedal the swan.
Oh, a two-person.
Yeah, two-person swan. What, do you go to one-person swans? It's the most depressing thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, I like my swan time by myself.
One-person swan. Is that real? Okay, that just melted my brain. I feel like that's the saddest thing I can imagine, and I've lived the saddest life you can imagine. All right, so he's bringing his dead daughter back, and he's like, fuck, shit. And she's like, no, it can't be true. Oh, no, I'm going to cry. Her life is really at a low point right now. Just found out her kid got killed. The second time. And you know what they say, James? It doesn't get easier. So now they're talking. They're like, fuck. And she's like, what is she saying in this scene?
This is where she talked about the prophecy, saying that was going to happen. There's nothing you could have done.
Yeah.
I learned it from a witch when I was young.
Yeah.
That kind of
and
stuff.
Maybe this is where it's like finally clicking.
Right.
In her brain, where she's like, "Oh shit, that prophecy! Damn, it's all just happened." All right, so Jaime's like, "Yeah, sorry, it really sucks. She's my daughter,
Yeah, and then he was like, "Screw them, screw everyone who isn't us. We're the most important people in the world. We'll take everything."
He used the F word. Fuck them.
Well,
I like that. I like that kind of modern, because it's not really a ancient, old timey way of talking.
No.
He was like, "Fuck those bitches." I can update my references to about 1998. So she's, all right, so that the Lannisters are angry. We've woken some lions up, and they're pissed. Okay. Margaery in jail for, I don't really remember what they accused her of, but, being a sinner, not confessing.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, and the evilest woman in the whole show is this lady.
Yeah, misconfess.
Yeah, Nurse Cratchit. Misconfess?
Yeah.
Is that what she...
No, this is all she ever says.
I was like, that'd be it's a little too on the money if they named her Misconfess.
Yeah.
But she's trying to get her to confess, and poor Marjorie's having a hard time. She's like, how's my brother doing? And she's like, fuck, I don't care. And then this guy comes in and goes, she's been a little bit, she gets over zealous, which when a zealot says that about their...
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, must be fucking nuts. And he goes, I'll talk to her. But that's not why I'm here. I want to talk to you about something else. What does he talk to her about?
That he can't get the starch out of his potato sack. No, that
about low prices.
Yeah, it's something about the love between a man and his wife is sacred, and that she has taken the first steps down the road, but she has many miles left to go. So he's saying that she still needs to confess, but she's kind of she's going where she needs to go.
She's like, I'm the queen, and he's like, oh, fuck, what do I care? Yeah, that's right. And then she's obviously going, I want to be back at home. Okay, down to Dorne. They're known for their water gardens.
This shot really got me because I went from this dismal, dark, dreary, gray dungeon to this vibrant thing. My eyes nearly exploded.
Full of color. Really, really, totally. So, okay, this is the dude. He's the oldest brother. He's been sickly and gross his whole life.
And he's like one of the only guys in this entire series who's a good man.
Yeah.
He's the best leader ever.
He's one of those leaders who wears the responsibility properly, and it wears him out, and that's not why he's sick. But, like, yeah, he's obviously burdened by being in his stead. He feels responsible. He actually gives a shit. Still, he's a rich guy.
Right, and I was thinking the whole time, I was like, why didn't Jaime turn around and say, hey, dude, by the way, this woman right here that you're holding hands with, she's not a good girl. She's a terrible, terrible person.
I don't know. You mean back earlier?
Yeah, well, why would he...
Why would he be okay with her?
Yeah.
How would he have known she's evil?
Because Jaime was like, he was still in the distance when Marcella died. You think he would turn the boat around and come back and say, hey, by the way, she poisoned my daughter, just so thought you know, FYI.
Yeah, well, you got a point. Well, we'll just have to write George R. R. Martin some letters, and hopefully he'll read them, because I'm sure he'll be convinced. And so also, Star Trek Doctor.
Oh, I didn't realize that. You're right.
Isn't that the same actor?
Looks like him.
Yeah, he's Pakistani, I think. Oh. Okay, so he gets a letter. Some dude runs up and goes, hey, you got an email. And he goes, all right, what is it? And the letter informs him that Marcella is dead.
Right, and this kind of answers the question I had. He didn't turn the boat around, but he did send a pigeon or something back.
Yeah.
A dove or whatever, a raven, whatever.
Raven.
Raven? Okay.
Yeah, passenger ravens, they're called. Yeah. And so all of a sudden, things take a turn I was not expecting. Boom! The cutie there, and she her titties in season 5. Amazing. She hauls off and stabs this dude. Now, this guy, I've been waiting for him to kick some ass. He's got this cool weapon. He's this big, bruising, tough-looking guy.
I was a little worried because he was surrounded by the bad guys. And we knew they were bad guys, but I was like, oh, he's going to be fine. He's got this giant guy with him.
Nope. Not so fast. Now these sand snakes are the daughters of Oberyn. Vipers, snakes. What are you, a snob? Their poison is part of their weapon. Yeah. Just like Oberyn was kind of known for that. He was the red scorpion. So she kills him. He goes down easy, just like I do. Wink, ladies. And then she's got a knife on her arm, so she pulls it out and she stabs the guy. Yeah. Boom, gotcha. And he's like, you bitch, what the fuck?
George R. R. Martin always kills the good ones. He makes you like someone, he makes you respect someone, then he takes them.
Yeah, that's exactly how he does it. Kind of like Santa.
Yeah.
And so he's confused and hurt, obviously, feelings and
very hurt.
Emotionally upset.
Physically.
Yep. And she's like, you've been a week, and I'm tired of your bullshit, and we're not going to keep dealing with those assholes.
Yeah, and apparently the guards are in on it, because they're not doing anything.
Huge, great, yes. Which I was I was like, oh, wow, they're really...
Yeah, they're just standing by like,
yeah. And so I kept hitting the button a lot here. See, totally, Star Trek. And he's dying. He's got a thumb ring.
No, I didn't notice
way high up, which I got to say, a little suspect. I've never trusted dudes with thumb rings. And he's like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah. I especially like the special effects where the blood's coming out. It's just like...
It was pumping.
It was pumping pretty strong.
Yeah, you could really see it flowing under his fingers. See? Right there, you see? And he's like, oh, and then he dies. Good face. I don't know why it's so funny. He's an actor. I know he's a living dude. That's why it's funny that a living dude is doing that stuff. Oh, I got another one. Okay, so the guards are totally in on it, and she's that was an intense scene. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. That was
surprising. I think it also sends a signal that they're going to be showing these sand snake vipers more. Yeah, like they're going to use them more, which they are actually kind of one of the weaker parts of season 5. If I'm going to say,
Oberyn was a red scorpion, but he's the red viper.
Scorpion, viper, they're the same. Either way, you don't want one in your shoe.
Yeah.
So, okay, now we got a guy drawn what I thought was a moon, turned out to be an eyeball. A moon in an eyeball.
Because he's going to put those in the eyes of his to-be wife.
Oh, that's what that would be, huh? Yeah,
he's preparing for her burial.
I thought this was a brownie. He's just coloring a weird Easter egg, his own poop. Okay, so the Sans Vipers come in, the two we haven't seen in this episode. He's like, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, we're here to kill you. She goes, you want her to be me or me? And their confidence I found a little off-putting.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take one of them out.
Oh, with this little knife?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a prolonged battle scene. I thought that he was going to maybe get a good blow on her, and then she was going to stab him through the back afterwards.
Yeah, cheap like it was going to be a mess.
Yeah.
But they went the other way.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll fight you with the one with the whip, which is, by the way, right choice. And although spears aren't good in close combat. Yeah. Why am I talking? So she's like, okay. Oh, no, I missed it.
You missed it? Oh, man.
Well, it happened so fast. I should have gone back and gotten it. So between these two screenshots, he's lining up to fight the whip chick. That's her. And then all of a sudden, right out of his face comes the spear.
Yeah. So we're not talking forehead. We're talking center of his face.
Center of his face. Yeah. I should have gone back and gotten a screenshot. You can Google it if you want to see it. Sorry. I know you came to our channel for all the blood and gore. So they cut it short. End of scene. Boom. And there he is. He's
Okay,
dead.
well, yeah.
All right, so now we turn to Meereen, where Tyrion and Varys are buddies, and they're taking a walk, talking about politics and running the city, and they're sort of just getting a look of the land. They're being responsible dads for the city, being their child. And Tyrion's got his hands in his sleeves. He always does that. And they find this woman. She's...
Well, you said Tyrion has his hands in his sleeves?
Oh, sorry,
That's
Varys.
Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester, yeah.
He's going for a light bulb.
There's a part where he runs in this episode, which I found hilarious, because I've never seen him move faster than a gentle mosey. So Tyrion tries to get this lady coins.
Yeah, this was funny.
She thought like he wanted to eat the baby, and he's like, no, and he goes, no. And then so Varys explains, don't worry about it. And not a big part of the scene. I think this subplot is over.
Yeah, I love how it goes from this scene showing that the people here speak High Valyrian to the very next scene where it shows they write in English.
Yeah. That's High. It's the universal translator from Star Trek. It just comes through the monitor, and High Valyrian looks a lot like English. Okay, so all right. So this is graffiti. This is political up. This is the revolution trying to talk there. So we come up. There's the Lord of Light is the red fire religion that we're going to see a lot more of later. We've seen a lot already, too, in the previous episodes. And this is spreading in Meereen. Apparently, this is the point of this scene. Because he's talking about Mother Dragons, fight for your own salvation. I didn't get everything. So then they're walking. They hear noises. People come running. They're like, uh-oh, let's go check it out. Come on, Varys. And then we see Varys run. I don't know if I got a shot of Varys running. I don't know if it might be in a couple more. And they go up and... shit, there's some big smoke in the distance. Not even in the distance, but just everywhere. But they don't reveal what's on fire just yet. The harbor, everything.
I was worried it was going to be the Arby's, so I was relieved when I saw it.
Yeah, well, fortunately, the checkers and the rallies all got kept open. So, this is their power. They can't go anywhere without boats.
Yeah. I mean, so this is obviously the golden mask dudes. What were they? The
Sons of Harpy.
Yes, Sons of the Harpies.
Sons of Arby's.
Arby's, yes.
And stinky poops. So now we cut to
Jorah
Mormont and the boyfriend.
Yes.
And Mr. Handsome boyfriend. And one night stand who you really kind of hope stays. So they're walking around talking, going, Daenerys, shit, we're both men. You're old, I'm young. That was basically the gist of the conversation.
I was waiting for his horse to turn to stone.
Why?
He's touching it.
Oh, well, so yeah, they foreshadowed in the previously on his arm, and then obviously indicating it's going to be part of this season story.
He's going on and on about how he wants to see the future. He wants to see a world where Daenerys is conquered. Why doesn't he cut his arm off?
Is that how you stop that?
I would assume it's progressing up his arm. I mean, you would think
they're stone people. They're not zombies, James. They have rights. They're allowed to get married. All right, let's keep. So they go. Oh, good. Looks like a henna tattoo. Look how gross his fingernails are. I actually like that.
I noticed that too. One of them solid black. I was wondering if that was something that maybe was maybe he was back home offshoot hammering something and they did it.
Or just doing these sword fights, probably.
Yeah, or if they just did that to add a little bit of flavor to it.
If that was a deliberate choice, it's
good. The black fingernail, you can't see it in this particular shot, but one of them is completely
one of his
messed up.
Yeah, and he might have smashed it or, but people all over the place back then, they never had clean fingernails.
No,
it's very unusual. It's very unusual for me. Oh, wait, fuck, why did I say that? So now he goes up and he finds her ring.
And did you see how many friendship bracelets he had?
A lot.
Yeah, he's got a lot of friends.
Him?
No, right there.
Right there? Yeah, those are a lot of friendship bracelets, yeah. Those are actually enemy bracelets, James. I don't know. You overly nice person. I thought what was interesting, I don't have a shot of it though, is when he walks up, I'm not going to bother explaining, the pattern around the circle, because I was like, how are they going to find her ring? But there was the horse tread.
You clearly see there was a clearing in the middle.
I was glad that got explained, because if they just wandered up and spotted the ring in the grass, I was going to be like, that's not going to be a thing.
And he's very much in the know on Dothraki culture, because he was the one schooling Daenerys in the beginning, so he knows how they operate.
Very good, very good. Yeah, he was a consultant. So I might have had those pictures doubled up, I don't know. But okay, now we cut to Daenerys. And this is crazy. This is actually really weird. So we don't know it's her yet, right? But this is a Khalasar. Although it's not exactly obvious unless you're paying close attention. But they show a lot of people with neck collars, like this is a slavery. Some people are in trouble. And oh no!
So they don't know who she is.
They don't know that she's Daenerys. Although I don't know if a lot of slave women have that necklace she's wearing. Yeah. Not to mention, they're very intrigued by her. They know she's different. Yeah. They don't think she's just like some peasants, wandering around the woods. she's got these hair. They have a conversation about her hair. But before I get to that, it's weird seeing her bound up. She's always been this like strong figure.
Yeah, she's vulnerable now.
She's very vulnerable. I guess in the very beginning she was kind of vulnerable before the husband or her brother got killed. But she's it's strange. You're like, oh no, this is not okay.
Yeah, and they're saying horrible things about her and not knowing that she understands what they're saying.
Right. And they actually say she's an imbecile, and they're talking about her pussy hair. See,
I knew you'd get a screenshot of that.
Of course.
Priorities.
Are you kidding? I've already put it on my blog. Yeah. So they're joking. Yeah, pretty eyes, but she's an idiot, and she's looking for Drogo. She wants that old bird to come burn some of these people up. I kind of wanted the dragon to show up too. So anyway, unfortunately,
we just got those 2 dragons up above our eyes.
Yeah,
those caterpillars of death.
They look like caterpillars that are about to fight or do some caterpillar loving. All right, so we're parked. This is a little bit more of a settlement, I guess, because of the tents and stuff. And they pull her up and they're like, "Come here, talk to this guy." And he's like kind of a dick, confident. You'd expect a call to be sort of an alpha male asshole, especially with that hipster mustache beard of his. Yeah. And they're saying horrible things. You're gonna lie with me tonight. About our looks and this is actually kind of a funny line.
And I was kind of surprised here because I remember her saying something like after the first season that she's not really into doing more nudity. And if people want to see her nude, go back and watch the Blu-rays of season 1.
Yeah. Laser discs, even better. Yeah. No, I'm just joking. But I was thinking about that too because they were about to tear it off. Yeah. And you're like, what? But yeah, she pulled the plug on the old titty showing.
And the funny thing was when she started giving her a title, right?
Yeah.
And she's getting all powerful and confident again, like, oh, this is going to work.
Here. Do not touch me.
Yeah.
There you go.
So she's got the confidence in her right now. And then it turns out they're like, oh, well, we don't care. And then her face after seeing that they don't care was hilarious.
Right. It was. I hope I have that. But before I get to that, when she said Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, isn't that an indication, not that they knew who she was married to, but maybe they just dismissed her because you sound like a wacko anyway, saying all that. Okay. All right.
Probably they didn't believe her.
Yeah. Yeah. So then she's break their chains, Mother Dragons, and they're all like, whatever, you're queen of nothing or something. Yeah. I don't have her face. Maybe I do. Slave of Kalmoro.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Go! Yeah. It's funny. She's like, I'm not going to lie with you. Told you she was a witch, cut off her head. I was the wife. And then he goes, you were the wife. Oh, I can't touch you. That's the rules. It is known. And, the indication here is they're going to take her to some town.
So she thought she was like, oh, I got away. I'm good. Yeah. Just escort me back to Meereen. Everything's cool. But like, oh, no, you don't get away that easy.
Yeah, you go to the widow house where Professor Xavier will train you in your true powers and to love yourself. All right, so now I didn't quite catch on that this was Arya's scene. I don't even think they show her. So
they show like a brief shot of someone in the corner. And I don't know how I knew it, but I just kind of felt that was her. Yeah, and then I went back and it was her.
Right, and then all of a sudden there's Arya, and you're like, oh, poor girl, the eyes, shit, what's she gonna do? I mean, I don't think they're gonna make her blind the entire rest of the.
Well, she'll discover marijuana and the glaucoma would go away.
Doctors Without Borders shows up and fixes it. It's brutal. It really hurts to see that. Yeah. So she's begging for money, and I guess, and some guy gives her money. And this wench shows up. She's so evil. Well, I gotta tell you, James, I like a confident woman. And she brings these big old sticks that are scary.
Yeah, I think she's mistaking Arya for Daredevil.
God damn it, James! I had a Daredevil joke lined up.
Go for it. So big. Forget I said it.
All right, here. I think she's mistaking Arya for Daredevil.
Crap.
No, I thought the same thing though, because it's like she gives her the stick and she's like, what does she say to her? She says, "Fight now, you blind idiot!" And she's like, "What? I'm blind." And she goes, "No, I don't care." And so she starts hitting her. Nobody comes up.
I thought that was kind of funny too, because everyone's walking by. It's this bustling city, but as soon as the blind girl starts getting hit by the sticks, everyone's gone.
And not just like poked around, which by the way, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
But beating the shit out of her. Look at her. There you go. Whack. Boom. There's two ladies back there watching. They're just not doing anything. What the hell? It was really distressing. Because like, we live in a world where people tend to ignore someone in pain, but anybody beating up a blind person, how you don't intervene immediately, it's just something. Beating up a person who's not blind, I might look the other way on that one. Okay, so here we go. I think I took a bunch of these. Poor Arya gets her ass kicked. Obviously, I think the prediction, James, you can tell me if you agree, is that Arya is going to become a badass with the stick.
Pretty much, I think so. Because she says, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which means she's going to come back every day and do this to her.
Right. Training montage.
Yeah.
Or she's going to pull some crazy shit with the sword, or she's going to trick him or something. I don't know. But she's pretty in over her head.
Yeah.
And just as the glaucoma is over her retinas. So she walks off totally confident. Everything's cool. Okay, now we've got some dudes holding crossbows. Alistair Thorne is on his way to talk to the Bravos boys. The Onion Knighters. They're all held up, kind of. Yeah, I guess they're just... Yeah, they are held up there. They're not leaving. And they have this conversation. Do you want to recap that?
Basically saying, let us in, or come out, lay down your swords, lay down your weapons. I'll let you guys have amnesty if you do that. I'll let the Davos ride south, and I'll give you food so you can make your journey and everything. And he's like, okay, but if you don't decide by sundown, then there'll be blood.
Right.
So he says, okay, we'll talk amongst ourselves, make a decision, and get back to you. Because what he's really saying is that even he doesn't believe him. He thinks no matter what's going to happen, if we open this door, they're going to kill us.
Which is what they all say amongst them to each other as soon as he's done. By the way, look at his forehead right between his eyes. Looks like he's like a fan of Malcolm X.
Oh, yeah.
Is anybody else seeing that, or is that just me?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, so he's furrowing his brow. Yeah, so that's exactly what happens. They have this little talk, and they're like, well, what are we going to do? Well, we can try to... we got the dog. We got ghosts. And that's not going to...
And at this point, I'm waiting. Okay, Red Woman, bring back Jon Snow. He'll come back with his giant flaming sword, and he'll protect everyone.
Yes, maybe with red eyes instead. Yeah. And they go, well, we have the Red Woman. He goes, and he goes, you don't know what I've seen this bitch do. She can fuck some shit up. So then we cut in on her. All right, we're getting close to the end here, by the way. So she's sitting there.
Into the flames.
Yeah, she's staring into the flames. That's her nightly meditation. She's updating. That's her Wi-Fi. It's her TV. So she's, it's kind of a slow scene. She's alone. You're not sure if she's going to show her boobs, which, thank God some actresses are cool with it.
Is this a good thing that you wouldn't have taken screenshots of this knowing that you can't show it on YouTube?
Well, wait till you see my directorial decision-making, okay, fuckface? I actually, you'll be pretty impressed, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, what if I had photoshopped my face on her tits?
Oh, my God.
Fuck, why didn't I think of that? So she looks in this mirror. I've always liked thinking about old mirrors, meaning, like, when did people actually get to see what they look like? I guess there was still water, like ponds.
Yeah.
So people did see themselves, but yeah, anyway, that whole thought messes my brain up. So, okay, she sees this old mirror. She's looking at it. She's like, I expect her to be pregnant or something, or Stannis.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Another demon baby or something.
Who's Quaid in Total Recall? Or Hanzu? What's his name? What's the little... He opens his shirt.
Yeah, I forget the name, but I know what you're talking about.
I expected that to be Stannis. Like a little infant, little Stannis fetus, just like with his head poking out of her...
That would have been pretty shocking.
Poking out of her belly button going, hello!
I'm the one true king!
I'm the one true king! Stannis fetus!
Stannis fetus Baratheon.
Pulls out a little flag. It's a fetus on a I got a sigil. Okay, sorry, we're getting a little silly. James. All right, so then she takes off her little gown. I'm having fun at this point.
You were taking rapid shots.
Oh shit. Okay, and bam. See, James? See? I took the shot after her tits were out of the shot for YouTube. Sorry, listeners. Sorry to fuck up your night. And she's so sad, though, by the way. Hey, James, her frown is up here, okay? And I had no idea that any of this was about to happen.
Yeah.
Everybody watching should know this already, so we're not spoiling.
This was pretty shocking.
Okay. Oh, man. Although amazing, though.
Yeah, because at this point I was watching, I was like, okay, she's communicating with some sort of deity in the mirror. Who is this ancient crone that she's talking to? Is this the Lord of Fire that she's talking to?
That's interesting that you considered those. I was like, oh no, that's a different person. That's a different person. But I expect it to be like a different person. Yeah. Not her older, which is obviously, I thought it was going to be like, somebody like John Travolta from Battlefield Earth or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like a different wizard lady or something like that. So anyway. Damn.
Yeah, I was hoping you would
know. No. And by the way, was this a real actress who just was like, I'll show my tits, no problem.
I was thinking they were going to cut back to Stannis. He was going to come alive for like 2 or 3 seconds just to throw up all over himself and then die again.
His head's in a box and he just goes, bleh, even though vomit comes out of nowhere.
So she's pretty darn old. Is the really necklace old. That's obscuring her...
yeah, that's the spell, I guess, right? Yeah. And because it glowed red right when she took it off.
Yeah.
we see her reflection. So she does this every night. This is like her going to bed. This is such a pedestrian. She stares at her, contemplates the reality of her existence, takes off her, goes to bed and wakes up, puts on the necklace. They're all like a Pycelle, the red keep, King's Landing's maester, where he, after the hooker leaves, he does a bunch of squats real quick. Stretches, and then he goes and turns into an old man. They're all living these lives of artifice, James. That's the long-winded way of saying that. So I'm sensing some special effects there with the eyes. I imagine they try to keep the eyes looking pretty similar.
Yeah,
I know.
this is clearly makeup and prosthetics.
Yeah, for sure. But damn. And she crawls into bed, and this obviously I couldn't take too many screenshots of. I'd rather get the beautiful, gorgeous, 30-something actress's titties than this old lady's.
And
hey,
Gollum's
sorry that I'm being a little ageist. That was intense, though.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
So we got through an entire episode. No answer on Jon Snow.
Yes. That was a disappointment. Were you disappointed?
I was worried as the episode was going on. It's like, oh man, he's putrefying, he's decaying, he's dead. Hurry up, do it quickly. Yeah. Now's the time.
Well, it seems like only about half a day passed in his life. I mean, overnight, and then he's like, you got till later tonight. That seemed like it was the afternoon. So
yeah,
that's really. So he wouldn't have been too rotted,
right?
But it's an indication that the Jon Snow storyline. Of course, it's going to go on if he comes back to life. But I sort of figured they might end that standoff thing, and
right. And the thing is, what is the Night's Watch's oath?
Not to bang chicks.
Well, there's that too, but it's saying that you basically give your life to the Night's Watch until you draw your last breath. You are
it ends
son of the Night's Watch.
Breath.
You're a crow of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
But if he comes back to life, he can say, well, I died.
Oh.
My thing is over. Now I can go. I can leave the wall. I can be this general leading armies against whatever.
Do you think he'll come back to life and be kind of like himself? Just like, hey guys,
I think he'll be changed, but I think he'll be mostly himself.
Okay.
I think there'll probably be something inside him that he doesn't quite understand, some power, but...
Oh, yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that, because every time anything's brought back to life, it's just like a mindless zombie, or it's a Frankenstein, the mountain.
What's really... In the next episode, in the preview, they take him and bury him in the pet cemetery. And then he comes back. Yeah,
so Jon Snow's gone. Arya, Cersei's family's falling apart. It's going to be crazy to see how I don't know what they're going to do. I mean... Yeah. I'm really intrigued by what's going to go on with Margaery. She's amazingly...
What about Bran?
Yeah. He was barely in the 5th season. Yeah. I don't even know if at all, right? Wasn't he?
No, he wasn't. Not at all.
Yeah,
no.
Right. And, we'll see what happens with that. And Jojen Reed and his sister and Hodor,
Yeah, there's a lot of story to tell.
James, real quick. Fuck, marry, kill. You know the game?
Hodor.
Damn it, that was exactly what I was going to say. How'd you know?
Yeah.
I was going to be Hodor. Hodor! Because those are the 3 different Hodors.
Yeah.
What storyline are you most intrigued by?
I'm intrigued by the Bran storyline. I want to know what's going on there, because we saw... I don't know if you watched the teaser trailer. I try to kind of stay away from it. Did you see it?
No.
Okay, so I won't say it. But there was a flash of something that was pretty interesting involving Bran.
Okay. Well, I don't think in the books we've run out of Bran material. I'm thinking cereal. I almost said Bran cereal. That's why I'm mad. And I read the books. I do recall more of the Bran story. I think I might even know what they might be hinting at. So I don't want to say it.
Right.
First.
And what was Lady Stark doing for most of season 1?
Catelyn Stark?
Yeah, she was raising Bran.
Yeah.
Raising Bran. Okay, I had to do it.
And they lived in California. They were the California Raisin Brands. God, that was good though. I approve of that. Okay. That's a good joke.
Most people won't.
They should. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, what else is there? We'll see what happens with Jon Snow. Arya's like, what the fuck? I mean, who knows? That'll be interesting. Training montage. She's going to turn into a real badass, though. I predict, though, long term, just a dumb prediction. Someday, Arya versus Daenerys. I think Arya is the storyline is that we're setting up this. She's going to be the queen that arises, and it'll be a feminist battle in a good way. Like you know what I mean? Like the two power chicks are duking it out.
Could be, yeah.
Because she'll have all these crazy super skills and the blood and all that.
Arya riding on a dragon controlled by Bran
with the face of
Tyrion.
And it turns out to be Yakin Hagar the whole time.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? What else should we say? We're good.
I think we should just go to sleep and wake up next Sunday.
I wish we could. It does feel a little violating that, like with Netflix, we're trained to be like, oh, I'm gonna watch the next one. I got 10 hours, and no, we gotta wait a week.
Yeah.
Although I like it though, to be honest.
It gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I like the tension. It
Yeah.
builds a nice little tension. That's all we got.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe if you enjoy our screenshot recap, whatever this is called, shot by shot analysis. Yep. And let us know if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. We're going to do this for the entire Game of Thrones season. So
we're going to do it for all of General Hospital.
All of General Hospital and even possibly St. Elmo's Fire. Yeah. Yep. And then the Rachel Maddow show 2009 through 2011.
Yep.
So you have that to look forward to. Goodbye, James.
Goodbye.
May the Force swords be with you.